Hello, Americans and other friends, subscribers around the world. Thank you, man. Kind of sunny and nice. Out here doing the usual morning routine of. Whoa, dude! I'm gonna smash my dang camera in there, man. Doing the. You should always start your rigs, dude. Let's see if they. Oh my gosh! Oh crap! Whoa, hey, how you doing? Sit you on up here. Just taking you with me to do some chores, man. A lot of chores, never ending on the homestead, man. But starting these rigs up, keeping the juices flowing is important. Remember that, especially in the. Woo! Her cold. Alright, man, so we, as you can see, starting off this video, the sun's out today, man. I said that yesterday. It's today and tomorrow. She wants to. But the sun's out. It's supposed to actually get close to 40 degrees today. Hopefully melts some of this crap. As soon as it warms up a little bit, I'm going to pull the snowblower over, man, and try to get that old girl fixed up and see. I'm pretty sure that bushing's out. Alright, she's trying, man. It's Dodge, baby. I love her. I love her. So, sorry, man, I'm concentrating. Come on, Daddy, it's cold, Daddy. Oh. Come on, pump it, pump it. Not that. Oh, come on, old girl. She wants to. Come on, baby. Oh, yeah. Woo. We're cold. Alright, man. It's probably pretty loud in here to try to chat. Listen to that sound. Oh. Oh, shit. I lost it. Or whatever I've been having with that, man. Once you lose it, I didn't know if I was going to get her to go again. Anyway, man, when you live in these cold climates like this, you know, or anything, man, I don't care if it's even in down in Arizona, man. You shouldn't let any rigs sit. You should always start them up minimum once a month, man. I would do once a week. I haven't done that with that old motorhome, that Resell motorhome. And sit out there and all that, man, especially in an automatic transmission, man, all that fluid will, you know, go down the bottom of that transmission. You could end up losing your transmission. You know, I say that about Res, but then also the same with the Gypsy wagon over there, man. I haven't started it up in years, but I will be, because I'm pulling that mother out of there this year. Oh, that's actually, I don't know if really, it's kind of loud in here, so if it's really the time to talk about it. We'll talk about that, man. We're going to talk about the gardening, and, you know, we took the last year off. You know, last year, if you follow our videos, and welcome to all the new viewers and subscribers out there. But last year, if you watched our video, you know, if you do watch our videos, in this, you know, we're going into our 7 years here on the homestead. And for the last 5 or 6 years, you know, we've tried all kinds, you know, really into the permaculture and, you know, all that. And we've tried down in the Crick Bottom, and we've tried out here in our meadow. And the best place that we've grown anything actually is in our little food forest area up close to the cabin. Well, we did that, you know, and never did produce quite, you know, the amount. The growing season up here is short, and man, last year we didn't have it because we decided to take a year off, is what I was getting at. So we took last year off, and we picked a good year to take off because the growing season last year was about like that. And, you know, and I ain't gonna get all political, and, you know, every time that I mention, you know, any of the climate changes or, you know, any of that stuff, man, and you know, it's not political. I don't care what anybody's opinion. Everybody's got their own opinion, man, and mine is 100%. It is a natural cycle. Humans are not good for the earth, have never been good for the earth, but it is, man, all the reading and research that I do, it's the sun, man. It's the solar deal, man, just like I said. So, I don't even, man, there we go. Here we go. I don't even know if I'll put this part in. But anyway, last year, and I mean, we'll see what this season turns out to be, but our spring last year lasted, man, we had fires in June last year. We're still having a fire in the cabin once in a while in June. So, man, it was very long, wet, you know, crazy spring. Summer was about this long, and then fall was, you know, fall was pretty good, man. I mean, really, some of the temps that we're getting these days, it still feels like fall. The winters, I mean, all the stuff has changed, and it all has to do, you know, with everything. Anyway, square! I'm not going to do it right now because it's kind of loud in here, but we're going to talk about this year. Me and Miss Kitty just was talking about it. I wanted to confirm that her feelings were the same before I mentioned it, but we're talking about getting hogs again. You know, we raised hogs for years. Talk about chickens, had chickens, you know, and I had chickens when I was a kid, when I lived with my father, and then me and my brother actually had a egg business way back, man, when I was 15. But I've had chickens forever, you know, and then other than when I lived with my mom and stuff, we didn't have a place for chickens, but anyway, I've had chickens for years and years and years. That was always the one thing I missed about living on a farm and stuff. We lost, you know, Midnight, her one lucky chicken, and her name was Midnight. We called her Lucky. If you haven't watched the videos, she finally passed away pretty much of old age. She had a rough go of it, man. We're talking about getting chickens and turkeys again, and we're going to, I'm going to build a greenhouse. Maybe I may just use my metal framing and just do a temporary one over where that, we want to plant an orchard, but we might set up the canopy just for the season over where the gypsy wagon, or even in front of the gypsy wagon. You gotta get some wheels so I can get that thing yanked out of there. Anyway, we'll talk about that some more in a bit. Back in the high life again. Whoa, hey man! What are you doing hanging out in here in the eBay shed? What's going on here? People coming to get me. Got some food. A little red mother. What that? Never seen that one before. So I'm out here finding a place. Put a few things listed over on the eBay store. I need to actually do a Mountain Junkers video. I just need to get on and watch it. What the heck is going on? I always hate opening these when they're cold, man, because you end up breaking, cracking them, tearing them apart. Some rusty gold down in here. But, I think I'd said it before that, so I'm curious of other people. I haven't really caught any eBay shows other than Debbie and Max gone thrifting. She said her sales were down. We were down 10% this season. Of course, I mean, when you have enough items on, you're still always selling stuff, man. But when you make your living at it and sales are down, it's definitely get your attention. You think, oh no. What what do you do, man? Just keep chugging along, baby. Keep chugging along. So, while I'm standing here, man, got the rigs all warmed up out there, and you know, pulled them in and out. And got the juices all flowing in all of them, so they're all good and good for another week or so. We have, man, huge. We got, like, I think I already said it out there, but 2 days of even the temps, even when it starts snowing, the temps are still high 30s and stuff like that. But man, they're calling for a crap load of snow in the next week. I think every day for 8 days or something, there's a chance of snow. Welcome to Idaho, man. But I was talking out there, and me and Miss Kitty will probably sit down and do a talk about, you know, getting back, doing our, not that we, you know, we grew up gardening, man, and you know, man, I've talked about it before. My gardening, and when I'm out there, is man, it's like my connection to my grandma Bertha, my great grandma. Man, my family started young, man, so it was pretty cool because my wife, Kitty, that's my wife, man. If you haven't ever met her, you gotta check her out, man. Miss Kitty, she's great. But she even got to spend time with my great grandma. That's pretty dang, which I guess when you get together when you're 15 years old, you know, you get to go through all that. But my grandma Bertha, she's been gone for a while now. I don't know how many years. She passed away before my grandpa Kent, that you always hear me talk about. That was his mom. But he passed away before she did. Then we got grandma. Other than they moved her over to Portland. That was a bummer. But anyway, squirrel. Started talking about grandma, and I started drifting off, and you know, you start thinking about it, man. That's the one thing, man. Getting older. You know, all the people, when you start knowing more dead people than you do alive people. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, I don't know if I am kidding. No, but, man, the older you get and the people come and the people, you know, just like, man, I said, I don't know if it was yesterday, a couple days ago, about, Gene, I was just reading Buffalo's obituary in the paper and stuff, and that one's really, you know, man, he's, you know, 67 years old, man. That's young, dude, these days. And still just, man, all the people that come and go and getting older, and man, I'm happy I'm still here, but man, I miss a lot. I miss a lot of them folks. I love them. But anyway, you see that little squirrel, man? What I was getting at with I'm telling you, dude, that's how my mind works. When I'm gardening, because I'm trying to get on the permaculture gardening thing here. And when I'm gardening, I always think of Grandma Bertha, man, because Grandma Bertha was my first, you know, introduction as a kid. Man, I always went over and helped Grandma garden, you know, stuff. And so, man, when I'm out there and the smell of the dirt and everything, man, it's just like she's just right there with me, and I just love that. And Kitty's the same, you know, way, because she gardened with her grandma and stuff. And then as a kid, of course, you know, my mom and Palm and, you know, had gardens our whole lives. And then me and Kitty's had a garden, you know, depending on where we were living. When we lived in the motorhome, we had little herb gardens with us and sprouted a lot of seed. We had those seed sprouter things, man. I love those things, man, eating the sprouts. It's great, but there I went again. In my mind, I need more coffee. But so this year, like I said, we said last year that we were going to take off that last year, which we ended up, you know, taking it off. We weren't, you know, it wasn't that we were getting out of gardening and all of that. As far as the farm animals, we have here, man. As far as the farm animals, we, you know, after the, you know, losing all the, show this down here, losing all our turkeys and chickens, and, you know, it's funny, like I said, I've raised chickens, and, man, I've had chickens, you know, off and on my whole life, and the way, you know, and how many we lost up here was completely, just really beyond belief, man. You know, we came up here with, I think we had 28 or 29 chickens. And then we had 28 or 29 chickens, 6 turkeys, the goats, 2 hogs, and dude, man, when the, you know, man, we thought we'd lost 1 or 2 with the, you know, the fox, and you know, so sorry, I'm adjusting this. So we'd, let me get this adjusted. Okay. So we'd lost 1 or 2, you know, with the foxes. We had a whole family of fox living on the other end of the property down here. And ended up, Cara took out the fox that got, she actually, that one took out our turkey. So then we thought we'd got the fox. And, you know, man, and I made the chicken house, you know, I thought it was fox safe. You know, I didn't have them in the yard. They were totally free range. And that's one thing that I told Kitty, if we're going to do the chickens, we're going to do it, because we had, when I was a kid, we had the skunks on the, when I lived on the ranch on the Rogue River, we had skunks, man, and they'd come and they'd dig in, you know, and come up underneath and get our chickens. So then we ended up putting chicken wire, you know, on the bottom so they couldn't come up through and get in the chicken house. And that's why I told Kitty, if we are going to do chickens and turkeys again, then, you know, I'm going to build a house, man, with the chicken wire, have it completely safe, and have a yard, you know, I'll let them out to free range. It's kind of hard not to let your birds free range when you live in a whole creek bottom with all the, you know, I mean, the nutrients and just everything. But, you know, so we'll see. I'm going to let them free range probably, but definitely going to have to keep an eye on them. And the thing about the creek bottom, you know, and I've taken you around, if you follow my videos, man, is it just like when we just walked out? I mean, it's thick down there, and them dang foxes, you know, foxes and, you know, I mean, we got foxes, skunks, raccoons, bobcats, cougars, bears, you know, all that, man. They just hang down there in the creek bottom, just waiting for them poor little suckers, you know, to come in there, and then, yeah. And that's what the bear, I mean, the bear just waited. And that bear had been on our property for 5 years, never had no problem with it until that, you know, when he came in and got my, when I came nose to nose with him in my skivvies, and he killed my 2 goats. You know, and then, you know, if you watch my videos, you can go back on the videos, man. You can even put the link. I'll try to have Kitty put the link in here. Or I'll put the link in here, one of us. On when the bear killed our goats, man. That was, dude, that still just breaks my heart, man. Because when we were pulling out that night before, man, Nick, man, the way he was yelling, I'll never, I wake up out of sleep. I mean, those 2 were my friends, man. Anyway, I miss those 2 goats. But, so, if we do decide to get hogs, we never had the problem. That hog, you know, we had a hog. She was, man, I can't remember what she dressed out. We ended up, you know, we ended up eating her. But, man, she was huge. And she was out there by that, but that old bear, man, would have had to put up that would have been one heck of a fight, man. That was a mean, she was a mean one. And she'd eat my dang chickens. That's right, I forgot about that. So not only did the fox, you know, ended up getting my turkeys, and in the end ended up getting almost all, I don't even know what got the last bunch of them, because they got the turkey, and then Cara used the Turkey Tom, used him out there, and she sat there for hours and waited for that fox to come out of the creek bottom, man, and then ended up, it's hanging on her wall. But I forgot that dang, we still had chickens, and when we had the big old hog out here, and that hog, man, and the chickens obviously would come in, you know, when we'd slop the hog or feed the hog, and the chickens would come in, and then it would eat my chicken, man. They'd grab a hold of one of my chickens, tear it up. I'd go out there, and there'd be chicken feathers all over, and that dang hog was eating my chickens. So I gotta watch the dang hogs, too. So, but our plan is, if we do bring, we're definitely gonna get us some chickens again, so I'm gonna make that, you know, I'm not gonna go with the, you know, hundreds. And I mean, literally back, if you watch the very first videos, when we first, 7 years ago, when we first started making this, man, we were, especially Cara, and, well, all of us were involved in it, but Cara was the chicken lady, and we had over 200 and something birds, you know, chicks that we were raising up. We were raising them up and selling them as layers. And man, we were selling the crap out. We had over 200 chickens at one time, and probably 20, I don't know, 10 to 20 turkeys. I love the turkeys, man. You know, and I get the old bronze, you know, so the same, just like the wild turkeys, man. They're so awesome seeing them run around here. I'd like to actually just let a bunch go loose in here, but then the foxes just eat my turkeys. And ducks, we used to have ducks too, so I'd like to get some of the ducks. So this is my mind just thinking about getting back into that. But what I was getting at is only if I have the facilities, you know, a new chicken house and everything built where they're more safe. That, you know, I thought they were safe last time, man. I thought I'd fox-proofed it, and yeah, man, you just reach down and grab treasures out. It's gold, man. But down in the, just in the dirt. But definitely going to be doing some, you know, some gardening and some permaculture and some hugelculture, and going to definitely be getting back into that some this year. And we'll talk about, we'll probably show when we start seeds and all that. We're going to, I know we got some seeds, and that was one of the things, man. I had all my heirloom seeds when the goats got into that shed that I talked about, when they, you know, and then I just walked away from it. That's why I had such a big pile of mess on the other side of this wall. But that's when they went in, and they ate all my seeds, man. All my seeds, all my grass seeds, they ate everything. They ate my pitchers, man. They ate everything. So we're going to have to stock up on some seeds. We need to go through what we got, you know, and now it's January, and we're going to start getting those stuff, and then we're going to start getting some starts going and things like that. And we plan on planting a lot of trees on this year, and just a whole lot of gardening and everything like that. So obviously we'll be taking you along with that. And we'll talk about it more as we go along here. I know I get sidetracked to talk about everything, but really right now I need to go get, still need to move some of this crap here, but I'm going to go get that snow blower and tear it apart. So I may show that, I may not, but other than that, man, please remember to like, subscribe, and share. Helps keep the lights on, the home fires burn, and the propane tanks full. And check out the links below. It's a great way to support the homestead, and we appreciate that. Good Lord willing, and the creeks don't rise. We'll be back again tomorrow. See ya!